Welcome to a late night edition of the CK podcast / post game show. Kings lose 107 to 106, led by Louis Kings, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. I know a lot of you guys will say he's the next big thing and we should build around. I'm just kidding. Y'all won't say that, but you will say they need to give him minutes. They need to this, they need to that, and again, fool's gold. We've seen it with Scal. We saw it with Justin James last night. I'm not saying Lewis ain't that guy because before Lewis got signed, they told me he was a bucket. And tonight, it looked like he was a bucket. What's up, Javi? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, staying true to the grind. Had a lot to do today, but I got to get on with the show with my brother, my family. Cowboy Kingdom, win, lose, or tie. I'm a king till I die.
Big
We got
facts.
to do the show. We're going to finish the season strong. Sacramento had a chance to win at the end. But, hey, we knew after last night season was over. But, again, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but I don't agree with any of that premise in regards to Louis King at this time. We got him on a bargain, and I just definitely feel from what I've seen going into the offseason with Mcnair, he might have made a mistake with Bogdanovich, but he knows how to find talent. And I'm not saying he's like the best talent ever, but I'm saying no one in their right mind in Sacramento, Northern California for that area, thought that Louis King's going to come and put up 27 points in 34 minutes when he's played, 3, 4, 5 games for the Kings. And granted, maybe it was a fool's gold situation where it was just...
No, he's a bucket, though. Like
luck.
People would say he is a bucket. He put up numbers in the G League, and he can definitely score the ball. So at least I'll give him that. With Justin James, I'm still not convinced. I know he had a phenomenal game last night. Props to him, bro. I mean, both you and I have been very critical of his game. And
I feel different about Justin James, though.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm just saying, Justin
Yes.
James put up 31 points last night, so it's not like he didn't put up big numbers.
Yes.
And he put up nice stats today, 16 points, 9 rebounds as well in 25 minutes. He's looking better. I still think Daquan Jeffries is a better player. I said that last night on last night's show, and I will continue to say that because I truly believe that Daquan is a better player, and it's not even close. But yet again, he did put up 31 points, and that is sort of a big deal. And tonight we had another surprise from Louis King. Not a surprise from he's not capable, but a surprise that he did it. He actually executed it. He's done it in the G League. And Pistons people, when he played with the Pistons, my good friend that covers that team, he said that he's a bucket. So he got a chance with the Kings tonight. He showed up. Again, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 27 points. Good for him, man.
I feel like this is a situation where it's not a false look of hope, like I said previously, for what happened tonight. But I'm not going to look at this situation where he's like the next 2-3 combo that can start. But he can be a player that you look as if going into the offseason on the parameters of their financial implications with Rashawn Holmes, you have a great sense of who can we get to be a reserve on this team for a bargain price, a chip that can really come in and play. I feel like if Harkless wants a lot of money, or if Terrence Davis gets like you said, $10 million a year annually, you presume that he might. I don't feel that way, but again, Louis King could be a nice secondary option. And even if we do re-sign the Harklesses and the Terrence Davis of the world, when we re-sign Rashawn Holmes right now in the offseason, after Rashawn's re-signed, I feel like we still can bring Louis King back on a relatively bargain-based deal because he has a lot to prove, a lot of upside, but he has opportunity here. And that's what teams that see the Kings as they're the dweller of the NBA per se with the 15-year streak, but it's a place to have real opportunity to show your skills. Look at Damian Jones. He's in his 5th year on his 5th team. They got an extension with us, multi-year deal. He went from Golden State to Atlanta to LA. He's on his 4th or 5th team. I know he played for the Warriors, won 2 chips. Then he went to Atlanta, got traded. Then he played for the Lakers. I don't know if he went to a team in between that or before the Lakers, but I'm saying he's on his 4th team in 5 seasons, and now he got a multi-year extension because he has opportunity in Sacramento. He really took advantage of it. He got a contract extension, and he's definitely a vital part of our interior post play in the paint off the bench going forward. And if not, they wouldn't have gave him that deal. Him and Metu can spell Holmes. And how you feel about Bagley, I understand, but I'm saying I don't know if they're ready to pull the plug on him yet. We'll see. But again, I like Louis King. This felt like what happened yesterday.
Do you like him more than Justin James?
Huh?
Do you like him more than Justin James?
Yeah, I do. And it's not about Justin James's upside. It's about Justin James had opportunities last year and didn't take advantage of any of them. And then this season, when he was trying to get him, excuse me, Walt was trying to get him implemented in the offense and in the flow of the game with rotations. He had every opportunity early on in the year, and Walton was using him to see, hey, can you do what I need you to do when we're playing our defensive concepts schematically? And he just didn't execute. And whether that's like, you know, limited minutes, the base of him, having a limit to his minutes
Right.
consistently early on. But either way, he didn't show a lot. And granted, he's a second round pick, but I'm saying he's been there. I won't say one of the longest tenure Kings, but he's been there 2 years, and he was getting outperformed by rookies. I mean, I'm not saying he's nowhere near Halliburton, but I'm saying Halliburton came in here and came and played terrific from jump. And I'm not saying he's a Halliburton type player or talent, but I'm saying to even get spot minutes as the reserve 2-3, and he couldn't get anything until late. And yeah, he's had a few good games. I mean, tonight, if you look at the box score, I mean, he had 31 last night. Tonight, he had 16 and 9. A good, solid outing. But that's why I'm not discrediting Monty Mcnair, because he found and seen something that he found, I wouldn't say presumed valuable, but he definitely had a feel that James has some upside in the tank for whatever he can contribute and bring to this ball club. But for the future, the franchise felt, yeah, we have a player that can play small forward in Jeffries, but they chose to waive him at the deadline or shortly thereafter because they felt as if he wasn't what they needed going forward. We're going to keep James instead and see what he can do. And it's paid dividend to a certain extent in these garbage minutes,
Yeah.
these 5 minutes. But nonetheless, he's produced in his time he's got on the floor. I don't know if it's consistently going to be the case with him, but I'm just like, I'm impressed with Luce King signing, Again, I don't know how much it's going to pay dividends in the future, or what he can do for us going down the line, moving forward in the 2021, 2022 season with, him possibly being a reserve, a vital and crucial part to what we do off the bench. But at a bargain-based price, I'd love to have him back. And I think he can add something that, not at the realm that Davis can, Terrence Davis, but I feel like he has capability of that instant score, that firepower off the bench that we need sometimes, from time to time, depending on where we're at in the game, flow of the game, the rhythm, because sometimes the Kings starters come off slow depending on what they're going to do with that starting lineup in the offseason as well.
So he was born on April 6th, 2 days before my birthday. I already like him already more than Justin James. I'm just kidding. He went to Oregon. He was undrafted. He signed a 2-year contract, two-way contract with the Detroit Pistons. And then the Kings signed him to the second two-way contract. So he's definitely a guy, in our culture, in basketball culture. He's a guy that's defined as he's a bucket. And in 15 games, he averaged 13.7, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 32 minutes while shooting 45.6 from 3. That was with the Westchester Knicks and the G League. So again, he got buckets, man. It's not like he hasn't proved it. But yet again, I feel like Justin James would also get buckets in the G League if he ever had the chance. But I don't believe he went to Stockton. I may be wrong, but I don't think they brought him down to Stockton. He's always been with the big team. So
James,
yeah, did he ever go to Stockton? No, right?
I think
I don't
early on
think he
he might
did.
have last year, but I have to go revisit that. But I think the
Daquan
most
developed
part
himself.
has
Like
been with
Daquan was really developed in Stockton.
Stockton. Yeah, yeah. With that coach, he should have kept that head coach and that, or well, not just him, but the GM that I think found him. That was the GM of the Stockton Kings that they let go,
Yeah.
which I feel like still a mistake. But hey, again, he wants to run a certain way in regards to McNair's vision, and I'm not ready right now at this time to really be in a position to say we should pull the plug on McNair. I mean, Walton's a different story. I'm not saying we should pull the plug, but there's definitely some underlying issues, some overlying developments that we see game in, game out. I mean, they're looking at the same record as last year if they win the Jazz game. If not, they're going to be a game worse. So, it's definitely
Yeah.
troubling in every respect in my estimation, because like these last two games, I feel like we're finished off the same, just in different pattern. They lost the game last night when they were up, and then this game they had a chance to win the game at the end and they still found a way to lose when they had a golden opportunity to get the victory. And it's just like that happened time in and time out this whole season though. Like just
Yeah.
unopportunistic things, unopportune times that they had chances to win the game, and it happened time in and time out in crucial games that could have changed the way the season went. I mean, think about they're 30-41. You think back, they win 5 more games right now. They're clearly in the playoffs. Like not like 12 more games, 5 more games, or I mean 10 more games. They win 5 of out of the games they've lost within 10 points. No, say 5 points. Probably like I think 12 contests. They win 6 of those games, 5 of those games. They're in a whole different world, but they just find a way to lose those games, and it's just a shame in every respect.
Even tonight, where most of the Grizzlies' main guys sat out the game.
They're ready for Sunday against the Warriors for the AC.
Yeah, and it's important for them because it's going to give them an extra chance once they lose to the Lakers, right? In that first play-in.
Yeah.
And the Grizzlies, man, they're tough. They found a way. They had no business winning last night's game. But tough teams, mentally tough teams, find ways to get the job done. Something, as you said, Javi, something that the Kings haven't done in a long, long time. The last time that I can remember where the Kings closed out a few games was when De'Aaron Fox was just flat out killing. And I mean like doing his insane type of movements, spins, Euro steps, insane speed when he has it going on. But for the most part, the Kings have been a team that lack execution for whatever reason. It could be a lot. Most of it is on them, but some of it has to be on the X's and O's from Luke and his coaching staff, in my belief. And they can't figure it out, man. Even tonight, where again, golden opportunity. Not that I want them to win, because I'll be honest, I didn't want them to win. And
No,
no, I mean for what? Like, I mean,
I don't ever go into a matchup trying to lose because I know you're trying to say, well, we get 2 more L's, get a better draft pick. I don't care about that, man. I mean, I hear you.
yeah,
I just
yeah. I mean, at this point, you're either gonna finish 11th or 12th. So, and I didn't see the Pelicans beating the Warriors tonight, which the final score was 122 to 125. So
Golden State won.
that's what I'm saying. So I didn't see the Pelicans beating.
Yeah, so the Pelicans are we tied with them?
Yep.
But they had the tiebreaker, so we would still be in 12th, right?
Let me see.
Because they
You're right. So they have the tiebreaker.
so they're technically better because they
Yep.
won the series, so they're 11th. Even though we're both 31 and 30, excuse me, we're 31 and 40. They're in the 11th seed because they had the tiebreaker from Sacramento. So, oh well, sucks for them. So, I mean, even with the same record, I'll take the same record as them. But yeah, let's just finish with 32 wins. They finished with 32 wins, and we still won one more game, and they still have the, as they'd say, the worst pick more or less. Or
So
worst,
look. This is how I see it. This is how I see it. Chum says, "Oh my God, Leo is Team Tank." I'm not Team Tank. The one thing I would hate, because when you look at the odds, is if somehow the Pelicans, who are notoriously lucky, a lot, like they've had the #1 pick twice in the last 10 years, right, with Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson. That is a team. If you F around and they're if they're 11th, right? And if they end up getting into the top 5, this is the type of game where. Do you remember that game where the Raiders beat the Steelers for no damn reason, like second to last game of the year, and then the Niners ended up with the #2 pick, and they drafted Nick Bosa?
Yeah.
When the Raiders were clearly supposed to draft Bosa that year, and they ended up with, oh my God, with Farrell.
Horrible pick.
That's what I'm trying to avoid, obviously. It's not like I'm trying to approach this loss, but if you're in the position already where you're still developing your guys, you're still fighting till the end. Obviously, if you win, you win. I'm not gonna like, oh my God, they won the game like a lot of people are. But yeah, I'd be lying to you if I'd be like, well, if they finish 11th and they win a meaningless game on Sunday, and the Pelicans lose, and and then the Pelicans end up getting the top 5 pick from being in that slot, I would be livid. I would be livid because why would you win a game like that when you couldn't win the game that you needed, which was last night? And I don't know if you had a chance to listen to last night's show, but a lot of Kings fans on the live chat, along with myself, and I want to know what you think. I think we should go to our local lobbyists for them to put it into a written law that every Kings fan deserves a therapist. And I'm being honest, like, we've gone through so much, man, the last 15 years that we deserve a damn therapist. Are you in favor of that, or?
200%.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like the Kings, with like, put all bullshit aside, like, the Kings have so much effect on how I feel. And I know I'm not the only one. Like, if they win, I'm in a great mood. And that's not okay. I mean, that's my fault. I need a therapist for that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of fans are like, damn, like, they're just down. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing, man. And that's what true loyalty does. Not saying it's healthy, not saying it's a good thing. I'm admitting it's a bad thing, but sometimes my emotions get the best of me. And I could not, like, on my birthday when they lost to the Pistons, had a great day. I mean, a great, great day. They lose that game, and my day just shifted, man. It was so upsetting. I'm like, and I remember, I went live, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, am I really going to let these damn losers ruin the end of my day? And I did. So that's the type of stuff that I'm referring to, man. Like, you need to win these important games like last night, and yet you're going to, hypothetically win a game on Sunday. Not that I'm Team Tank, because I'm not, but those are the things where I'm like, okay, there's one game left. Be who you've been all season long. And that's a losing organization. And those are my 2 cents about that. So it's not that I'm on Team Tank, because I'm not. So stop it, chum.
It's just the fact of, like, the fan who commented, his name's Chum.
Yeah.
So it's just the fact that, and they're not playing for anything anymore. Like, yeah, they're playing for pride, but the season's over.
Yeah,
they're not
that's
gonna,
why.
They're not gonna gain anything by winning the game. Yeah, I don't want them to lose. I want them to win. But if they lose, it's not like, oh my goodness, like, well, they lost. The season was already deemed over after they lost to the Grizzlies on Friday night, which would be 2 days ago. So what does it matter? Or, like, or excuse me, on Thursday night. So 3 days ago they lost to the Grizzlies. If they lose on Sunday, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have any effect other than the draft position to get a better ping pong ball opportunity in the lottery. So, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. I don't think they're going to be in the lottery. I mean, they might get, I think it's top 14. I don't know if they finished in the bottom 14 in the
They will.
draft selection. Well, what I'm saying is, to win the game, it's like, okay, we win the game. I'm happy with that. But as long as the Pelicans lose. But if the Pelicans lose and we win, then it's like, okay, we defeat the purpose. If we finish the same record with them and they have the tiebreaker, which they do, I'm happy with that. But I don't want to obviously lose and then they lose, or excuse me, we win and they lose, because then they get the 11th seed or the higher seed.
So there's another team.
You want to lose and lose or win and win.
Yeah, so there's another team in the Chicago Bulls who are 30-40, and if they win and the Kings lose, there's going to be a 3-way tie between the Bulls, Pelicans, and Kings. I don't know how that's going to be broken up, but it's definitely something to think about. Our boy Nick Xiao says, I need your guys' prayer now. My city in China is suffering from a tornado right now. Absolutely, man. Prayers out to his city in China.
My thoughts go out to you, man.
Yeah, he also has a follow-up, and he says, what do you want in the draft? If you had a choice, I'm assuming Jonathan Kuminga or Jalen Green. I don't even think it's close, brother. It's definitely Kuminga. I mean, this guy is 6'8", can play a little bit of defense. Some say that's a strength, but I see a lot of Paul George in him. He's going to be nice. Whether or not he pans out in the NBA, whole different thing, but I love his athleticism. I love just his game, to be honest with you. Foreign kid. he's nice. Jalen Green, I see a lot of hype behind him. Super athlete, amazing athlete for sure. But I'm not as high on Green as many people is. So, and we'll get into all the specifics and the analyzing of their games with pre-draft breakdowns very very soon. But those are my initial thoughts. Uh, Chum says, "Yeah, that was a great video. Hard to carry a show solo when y'all lose." When they lose the way they did, yeah, it was tough last night because I was deflated, man. I was encouraged, right? They were up by what 6, and they just.
Lost by 6.
And then you know what I hate the most, Javi, is when I see people like, "Oh, Buddy's fault," and I'm like, "Y'all really gonna blame Buddy Hield for that loss when I can pinpoint all the mistakes that so many other players not named Buddy Hield made in those last 3 minutes." That's what I hate. Like Kings fans are so petty when it comes to this type of shit. They always hold on to a scapegoat. Like they want to choose one person and just be, well, that's his fault. But
what about the missed free throws? What about the bad rotations? What about
the air ball from
yeah,
like
the air ball that was just what in any estimation?
But yet it's all Buddy's fault. But like, come on, man.
Defensive lapses that were consistently displayed in the fourth quarter, like the air ball alone was just like.
Why can't they say it's, you know what, it was awful execution from everybody? Like, I'd be like, facts. But when they want to pinpoint one player and always use him as a scapegoat, it's just like, dude, it's clearly not fair. And you're lying to yourself.
Like,
so
Matthew had the air ball and clearly wasted possession that could have been deemed more than prominent to them coming back and finishing the game to solidify the victory. And he shot an air ball. But no one forgets that Buddy stepped out of bounds on the boundary, but you didn't seem to mention Metu's air ball.
Yeah. And honestly, Javi, he got fouled, and they didn't call it. Had his wrist grabbed. Yeah, like when he grabbed the offensive rebound, he dribbled the ball. Clearly grabbed his wrist, but in an instant replay, you can't call it a foul. You just have to call it the way it is. And fortunately, they were on the other end of the stick on that one. Hey, man, but it is what it is. Tough loss last night. Justin James showed up tonight. Lewis King. Again, I agree with you. I think Lewis King is a nice piece to have, but they had a better piece in DeQuan, better than both Justin James and King. But it is what it is. I think DeQuan makes a name for himself somewhere next year. I'm not sure if it'll be with Houston or not, but he had that massive dunk over Rudy Gobert. Just the kid's a monster. He's a powerful athlete. He's such a good defender already. Also, shout out to my boy Cam Oliver from University of Nevada, Reno, one of the craziest athletes in the entire world. I mean, this guy is a world-class athlete, powerful athlete. He put up some good numbers against the Lakers the other night. They signed him to a 10-day contract. I know he's been working his ass off. Also, he's from the area, too, so anyone went to school at the University of Nevada, Reno. Cameron Oliver.
Or Stockton?
Sacramento.
That's good.
Cameron Oliver, man. Definitely, he's been working hard. Nice power forward. He's still trying to find his way in the league. He needs a better jump shot. Not a better like mechanics, but he just needs to hit it more often, more consistently. His athleticism is second to none. Like there's nobody his side that can do what he can do. Like Zion is the other guy. But Cam is on that level of athleticism. Like Cam is just ridiculously stupid when it comes to jumping out of the gym. I mean, and on top of that, he's just so powerful. But you know, he get drafted in the second round? I think he did. He came out in 2017, which was the biggest mistake ever. I told him not to.
The junior.
He was a sophomore.
This is a sophomore, true sophomore, huh?
Yeah, he was a true sophomore in Nevada. They had won so many games. They had the incoming twins who now play for the Hornets, and Cody Martin and Caleb. And that year, Nevada ended up going to the Elite Eight. Like they would have won the whole thing if Cam stayed with the twins. Oh my God, like that would have been stupid. But I don't know who advised him to leave his sophomore year. It was an awful mistake. But it is what it is, man. Since some kids, you know. Well, we're nobody to judge, right, what the situation was financially or whatnot. But, hey, it happened the way it did. But it's one of the biggest, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda for Nevada alums. Because I love my alma mater, and we had a great squad without him. But with him, my God. Well, let's go over the slate of games tonight. Obviously, 107, 106. Wizards, 120. They beat the Cavaliers, who had 105. Nuggets, Pistons. The Nuggets win 104-91. Sixers, 122. Magic, 97. The Jazz, 109. Thunder, 93. Mavericks, 114. Raptors, 110. They clinch a playoff spot. The Rockets, 122. The Clippers, 115.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure the Clippers shot everybody out, though. I mean, let's check real fast. And I am correct. So Morris Senior, Zubac, Rondo, Kennard, and Scrub were the starters. So
Scrub.
yeah,
Who's Scrub?
Scrub. He played 40 minutes. He had
What's his name?
17 points. I have no idea. Jay Scrub.
No, I think not Chase Scrub guy.
I promise you.
His last name is SCRUB.
Yes.
His last name is SC.
Let me see. His last name is S.
Wrong on air. SCRUB. That's his last name.
His last name is SRUBB. Scrub.
R.
You just one extra B.
But he's missing the C though.
No, it's SCRUBB.
Oh no. Oh, there is a C.
Yeah, Scrub.
All right. His last name is SCRUBB.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were like playing around like he's a scrub, like SCRUB.
No, Scrub. That he played 40
Wow.
minutes, bro.
You were not playing. That's wild. His
No.
name is Scrub, like a real scrub.
Yeah, Jay Scrub.
At least he's in the league though. I mean, he's in the league.
Fact, we ain't no scrub, but okay, Warriors Pelicans 125 to 122. Really, the only surprising there was the Clippers losing to the Rockets. No, I mean, we have our playoff teams. Washington is in 10th, so good for Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. The Bulls have been officially eliminated at 30 and 40. Zach LaVine not playing all these games with. Don't know if he had COVID, right? Teams aren't releasing. They legally can't release that type of information, but what De'Aaron Fox, what happened to Fox happened to LaVine too, and it's unfortunate because they made a lot of effort to go for it and they failed. So we'll see what happens with the Bulls, man. They're in a very interesting position to say the least.
LaVine 2021. What's good?
LaVine 2021, man. Poole goes off tonight. Yeah, so Cam was undrafted. That's right. Cam wasn't, and that's the worst part, man. Because if Cam Oliver waits 1 year and he plays with the Twins, his draft stock would have been so high for the upcoming draft, and
After
yet,
season,
like after his junior season, when the whole world, like he would have been on national television all the time, and
he would have came after his junior year.
oh man, it's unfortunate, man. One more year of development of his game, playing under Eric Musselman, and it is what it is, man. But
got the opportunity to get drafted.
Yeah, man, it was he must have had a promise and it didn't fall through. Honestly, like I feel like he had a promise, but there's a lot of people, a lot of prospects who get promises and they don't fall through.
What was gonna ask you before we get into, well, you said Poole had 23 for the worst night.
I think so.
Yeah, he's been playing really well off the bench. That Horford got out of Michigan second round. Or I think was he first or second? But I know he came from Michigan.
He was a first. He was a first round pick, but
first round pick in 19 or 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he played well. He's been playing well off their bench. But want to give a shout out to Damian Jones. 17 points, 11 rebounds tonight, 35 minutes. I mean, like Grant, I said, he got opportunity here. He's made the most of it. He played really well tonight. 3 assists. I mean, for a guy that's been bouncing around, I'm not saying I want Rashawn out of here, but I definitely feel as if McNair's going to say, hey, we see you at 48 over 3. And if he's like, no, I think McNair's like, all right, well, good luck to you. You know what I mean? I feel like he's like, I'll give you 45 over 3. I'll give you 60 over 4. But I'm not going, I'm not going 18 mil. I'm not going 18.
No, the Kings wouldn't. Like the Kings would never find a way to make up that money, though.
But what I'm saying is that's the backup plan. It's not the best backup plan, but I'm saying they see, I think Holmes their starting center, Damian Jones their backup rotational 4 or 5 rather. But what would be interesting is this. let's just say they do what you want and get rid of MP3.
Poole had 38 points, by the way, and he had the game,
Game winner?
winner. Yeah.
My man Poole going down for the Warriors. So, what if they did this? What if they got rid of your guy that you don't want to have on the team anymore, Bagley the third, because you want to get rid of him because he ain't your cup of tea, and they play Rashawn at the 4 and Damian at the 5? That, my friend, would be interesting. With 2 rim runners, 2 shot blockers, most importantly, 2 solid defensive stalwarts that gives you presence in the paint. You might not have the most stretch 4 capability with the, front court that can shoot from the perimeter, but him with Holmes and Barnes, De'Aaron and Halliburton or Hield, I mean, it's just something to think about, But I just want to see what you thought about that because I think Damian Jones can really fill out to be something nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you think that's good?
No, I mean that's what I would prefer to happen for sure. Like rather than seeing Damian Jones and Bagley next year as your starting bigs, I'd rather see Damian Jones and Rashawn Holmes for sure. Which then would give Rashawn Holmes more opportunities to patent stats. Will that lead to more wins? That's really the question we should be asking ourselves. We saw Rashawn Holmes go on a massive stretch this year where he averaged like 17 and 10 almost, right? Where he was just killing it, being super consistent. Then he got injured. So we've seen him put it together for a nice stretch of games, which is what I've been hoping that Bagley did. Bagley has these games occasionally where he has really good games and he falls back a lot, a huge drastic drop off. And I feel like a lot of these players, like the Lewis Kings, Damians, Justin James, they're that type of guy where you may have a great game one night, but that's who you are. And that's not a bad thing because when you, again, accept your role and you have a certain role on a certain team, that's just who you are. But if you're going to pay Rashawn Holmes $15 million per season, you better expect 15-10 every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are things that you expect.
Night.
Like, those are things that you expect from a guy that's going to get paid $15 million. And he's more than capable of doing it as well. It's not like it's going to be a shock if he does. He's done it. Like, he's done it. So now it's a matter of, can he stay healthy? And I think that's something that a lot of Kings fans, including myself, have been guilty of not talking about. He's been banged up a lot the last 2 years, man. And whether it's because he plays a certain way, again, I'm not saying he's reckless because he plays so damn hard, but he needs to stay healthy, man. When he's healthy, the Kings are a much better team for sure.
Well, what we're going to have to see is, will they get him back on a contract, not team friendly, but where they deem him in regards to the value that they have him at currently going into the offseason, because that's going to be the biggest question mark,
Yeah, Bobby Hill says, would you move Buddy for Horford, who has 2 years left?
Why?
27 and 26. Buddy has 3 years left.
Why? What does Horford bring to us? Except a fat contract. What's he getting paid, like $41 million a year?
No. I'm assuming that's if Holmes leaves.
But, like, Horford's 35 years old. We have Damian Jones, who's, 26, 25? Yeah. Maybe younger? Possibly. Why? Like, what benefit do we get out of putting Horford? Like, granted, yeah, he's a good center more or less, but he's 35. Like, so by the time De'Aaron is, all things aside of where they're at now, if they're good when they think they're going to be good, Horford's going to be, 38? Like, why? Why take that money? Doesn't make any sense.
It's tough, man. Yeah, I'm the biggest fan of Al, but I think at this juncture of his career, if he was on an expiring deal, without question, like, I would love that. But with 2 years left on his deal, I'm not the biggest fan of that, man. He's still solid. He took the year off. Let's just call it the way it is, right? Not because it was his choice, but because the Thunder said, I don't give a damn what people say. We tanking and we going for Cade Cunningham. So it is what it is, man. On behalf of the entire CK family, man, on behalf of Javi, we love you guys. We hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay strong, Kings fans. We're staying strong with you guys. Just coming on here, venting with you guys. We're frustrated. We believe in no tanking, and we want the Kings to win, but it's been that kind of year, Javi. Any final words, bro, before we end this?
No 34-year-old Al Horford's coming to the Kings this Sunday when they play the Utah Jazz, because that's their final contest. They will have their opportunity to possibly win more games than they did last year. So that's the one plus for Sunday. But also, for their final contest, also make sure for Sunday, all my fans listening out there, all the Kings fans around the world listening, please make sure you understand this. Our final post-game show of the year for this 2020-2021 season has been tumultuous for the 2020-2021 season. Please tune in. Games at 6 p.m. We're going to have more shows for the pre-draft analysis, but our final post-game show until late October.
And we'll be having playoff game post-game shows.
Yes. Well, I'm talking about final post-game shows for the Sacramento Kings this season. For the 2020-2021 NBA season for the Sacramento Kings will be on Sunday. But stay tuned for more pre-draft analysis shows. It'll be our final Sacramento Kings post-game show till late October, early November, and the Kings are going to try to stretch their win total by one game on Sunday from their previous record last year. So everyone tune in after the game. After they finish the game around 8:30 or so, they play at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time against Utah Jazz, and it should be done around 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll have the show right here for you. So please tune in.
That's going to do it, y'all. Again, if you guys want more information on earlier show where I did a show with my boy Mark about stocks, how to invest your money, what to invest in. I showed y'all my portfolio. So if you guys are into making money, make sure you tune into that show. Thank you guys so much, man. Continue to support. It helps us out a lot. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Sunday, maybe tomorrow, not sure. Peace.
Guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys soon. Go Kings.